Good morning, mathematicians. Today is Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. Welcome to our math lesson of the day. Our lesson objective is I can use addition and subtraction to solve word problems. Let's get started with our number talk. Your number of the day is 199. You will need to draw the number using picture form. Then tell me what is 1 more, 1 less, 10 more, and 10 less of 199. Make sure to solve 199 plus 2, 199 minus 30, and 199 minus blank equals 100. Then go ahead and write the number in expanded form, hundreds, tens, and ones. Remember, you are telling me the value of the number, not the number of groups. Then give me a number that is greater than 199 and a number that is less than 199. You may pause the video, do your work, and then press play when you're ready. All right, get started, mathematicians. See you in a bit. Welcome back, mathematicians. Let's start with another warm-up. This time we will be singing along this song that reminds you what greater than, less than, and equal to mean. Are you ready? Remember, you can stand up, move around, dance. Let's get started.
Comparing numbers, that's the game. Bigger, smaller, or the same. Comparing numbers, one is true. Greater than, less than, or equal to. Take one group, then another. Measure them against each other. Which set has more when you count? Or do they have the same amount? Comparing numbers, that's the game. Bigger, smaller, or the same. Comparing numbers, one is true. Greater than, less than, or equal to.
For more songs, games, and original stories, visit Brain.
All right, can you think of a number that is greater than 3? Excellent. Can you think of a number that is less than 52? All right. What about a number equal to 8? What number is greater than 220? What number is less than 152? Excellent job, mathematicians. Let's review our problem-solving steps. Today, you will practice solving problems that tell about something being more than something else or less, fewer than something else. Review these steps before we begin. Let's go. So remember, our first thing that we want to do is read the problem. Next, you want to be able to tell what you know and what you need to know. This step is very important for today's problem. Then, write an equation that matches the action in the problem. And last, make a plan. Use models, hundreds charts, mental math, or another strategy or tool that can help you solve the problem. I want to go back to our focus of the problems. Today, we will be practicing solving problems that have the word more than, less than, or fewer than. Remember, how many more or how many less means compare. And when we compare is we could do 1-to-1 match, 1-to-1 match, and I subtract. Let's go ahead and watch this video with word problems with more or fewer. To solve these problems, it is very important to think carefully about what the problem is asking us to figure out. Listen to how this teacher explained what he needs to do or know for each problem. Are you ready? Okay.
So they tell us that Alexander has 9 marbles, Emily has 5 marbles,
And then we're asked, how many more marbles does Alexander have than Emily? So pause the video and try to see if you could figure this out. Now let's work this out together. So let's just draw it out. Alexander has 9 marbles. So we could draw his marbles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And Emily has 5 marbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many more marbles does Alexander have than Emily? Well, we could see it in this picture right over here. Alexander, these are all the, so this is up until this point, this is the same number that Alexander has as Emily. And then Alexander has, we see it right over here. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 more marbles. Now, what's another way that we could have thought about it? Well, Alexander has 9 marbles. And if you were to subtract the number of marbles Emily has, that's how much more marbles Alexander has. That's how much more 9 is than 5. So you could have said 9 minus 5 is equal to the 4 marbles. That's how much more marbles Alexander has than Emily. Let's do another one of these. Noah was mailing 2 letters. The heavier letter had 8 stamps. The lighter letter had 5 fewer stamps. How many stamps did the lighter letter have? So once again, try to pause this video and see if you can figure it out on your own. So the heavier letter, it's always useful to just, well, what are they telling us? So they're saying, just write down whatever information they give us. So the heavier letter has 8 stamps. The lighter letter has 5 fewer stamps. So do we know how many the lighter letter has? Well, not immediately. That's what they're actually asking us. How many stamps did the lighter letter have? But it's 5 fewer. 5 fewer than what? 5 fewer than 8 stamps. And so we could write that. If we have 8 stamps and we want to go 5 fewer than that, 5 fewer, well, that's going to be 8 minus 5. This is 5 fewer than 8, which is going to be equal to 3. The lighter letter has 3 stamps. Now, another way you could have thought about it, the heavier letter had 8 stamps. Let's draw 8 stamps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's how much the heavier letter had. The lighter letter had 5 fewer stamps. So let's take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what are you going to be left with? Well, you're going to be left with these 3 stamps right over here. This is how many stamps the lighter letter had.
Thank you for listening attentively, mathematicians. As you can see, there's different ways and different tools and strategies that we can use when we are solving problems that are asking us how many more, how many less, how many fewer, right? So let's go ahead and practice a problem together. We're going to practice using the problem-solving steps to find an answer to this word problem. Think carefully about what you know and need to know. The problem says, Miss O measures Beatrice and Natalie to see how tall they are. Natalie is 50 inches tall. Beatrice is 40 inches tall. How many inches taller than Beatrice is Natalie? Thinking about the steps, we know that we have to read the problem, which we did. Now we have to ask ourselves, what do we know? Or who is this problem about? And what's happening in the problem? Yes, so the problem is about Miss Osegueda, and she's measuring Beatrice and Natalie, right? So Beatrice, Natalie, and Miss O are part of this problem. And we know that we are measuring Natalie and Beatrice. What else do we know? Yes, we know that Natalie is 50 inches tall and Beatrice is 40 inches tall. Very good. That's all the things that we know. Now, what is the question asking us to do, or what do we need to find? What is it that we do not know? How many inches taller than Beatrice is Natalie, right? Right now, I want you to use a paper and a pencil to show your work and your answer. Then we'll check our work on the next slide. Go ahead. You may pause the video and solve the problem. Welcome back, mathematicians. All right, so before we move on, what did we learn? Who's taller? Natalie, right? Natalie is taller than Beatrice. Natalie is 50 inches tall and Beatrice is 40 inches tall. And remember, we were trying to find how many inches taller than Beatrice is Natalie. Let's go ahead and check our work. So first we read the problem, we thought about it. What do we know? What do we need to know, right? So we know that Natalie is 50 inches tall, Beatrice is 40 inches tall, and we want to know the difference between these numbers. One way that we could do is that we could solve by using an equation. We would be comparing Natalie and Beatrice, and we learned that comparing means to subtract. So 50 minus 40 equals blank. Last, you would be solving the problem either using models, a chart, mental math, or another strategy or tool that you know. You could use a numbered chart. Once you have decided, then you should have your answer, right? Our answer is 50 minus 40 equals 10. Therefore, Natalie is 10 inches taller than Beatrice. Give yourself a happy face if that's what you have. If not, go ahead and change your answer now. And think, how did we get 10? Right? By subtracting 50 minus 40. Now it's your turn. I want you to write an equation that matches the problem and solve. The problem says, Jose plans a trip to visit his family. On his way there, he buys 52 bags of chips and 97 chocolate bars. How many less bags of chips than chocolate bars did he buy? So who is this problem about? Jose, right? What is Jose doing? He's visiting his family. Did he do anything on the way there? Yes, he bought chips and he bought chocolate bars. What do we know? What do we know? We know that Jose buys 52 bags of chips and he buys 97 chocolate bars. Right? What are we trying to find out? Or what do we need to know? Yes, we need to know how many less bags of chips than chocolate bars did he buy. How many less means compare, right? Or subtract. So go ahead and solve your problem. Send me your work once you have finished. Excellent job, mathematician. See you soon. Bye-bye.